Welcome to Modern Man, and today's topic is relationships.
And today we have the incredible RJ Di Donato with us. Hello, RJ.
Hi.
How are you?
Fantastic, and how are you?
Oh, I'm not bad actually.
All right,
Now,
good.
I'm very interested to hear a male's perspective on relationships. But so today we're going to talk about relationships. And to give you a quick introduction to RJ, RJ has spent probably 30 or 40 years traveling the world working for large corporations. And also, given what he's been doing, which is sales and marketing, he's been a past president of the National Speakers Association. And currently in Las Vegas, he has a lot to do with speakers, but also he has a lot to do with real estate. So today we're going to talk about relationships, though, which has got quite a different situation. So, RJ, what do you think is important about relationships, or what do you find appealing about being in a relationship?
Well, first, I think as most guys, it's kind of a physical attraction. You see someone and physically you say, wow, I think she's gorgeous and beautiful. And
I like that.
And then after that, it's, the communication. If you're not just talking to a wall, you're talking to someone that's answering you back, and you have a nice communication, you're both laughing, and the conversation is going really well. And I think you tend to like that person even more and more as the night goes on. And you're enjoying a dinner or a bottle of wine or wherever you are, and you find out you have a lot of things that you like in common.
Yes.
Like to maybe take a walk in the morning or go to the movies or cook together. And so it's all that commonality that really, I think, takes over after the physical attraction.
I think that's
takes
but
over.
I think it's like they say, I hate to sound chauvinistic, but it's like a book.
Yeah.
So the thing that makes you take the book off the shelf is the cover,
Yes.
isn't it? So it's a physical thing. It's
Right.
the colours right, or the words right. But then once you sort of take it off the cover, it's the content that makes you read it through.
It's the presentation.
Presentation, ladies. That's right. So it's a presentation. But then you have to have follow through, because I think
Yes.
off stage, when we were talking before we came on, Arjo was saying sometimes he's been on a date where it seems like dinner has taken about a month to get through.
Yes, that's right.
I mean,
No
that's,
conversation.
yeah, that would be
None
pretty
whatsoever.
hard. Yes.
It is.
I mean, goodness gracious me. So with that sort of thing, with physical starting out and then getting into a commonality type situation.
Right.
So how do you do that? I mean, have you actually tried internet dating?
I did.
Yes.
I didn't like it because I just thought it was very false advertisement. Most of the pictures were 20 years younger, and
Yes.
I've actually gone on a date and been in the lobby and looking around. I said, I don't recognize the girl I'm supposed to meet, and then I heard my name and I looked over and I said, okay, no, that's not me, and I walked out. So, I don't do that often, but in this case, I really did.
You did.
I did.
That's
I
okay.
got out of there.
So far, I don't think any of the people I've interviewed have actually had anything good to say about internet dating.
I've had a few friends that actually, one that got married
Oh, wow.
from Match.com, but I
Yes.
have had no luck. No,
Oh, that's okay.
no luck
So
at all.
with you then, where do you sort of find the ladies you'd like to date?
Where I've been most successful is in working in a large company, like some of the large computer companies I've worked in, where you get to meet somebody on a daily basis. You see them every day. You have a cup of coffee. Maybe we all go out and have a drink as a group.
Right.
And you get to learn about this person. You get to learn more about them, where they came from, and are they married? Do they have kids? Are they divorced? And
Yes.
and you start, there's an attraction.
Yes.
And then you can feel it. You can feel if someone's attracted to you,
That's true.
and they can feel if you're attracted to them, and that starts a nice little process, maybe where you get up enough guts to say, why don't we have dinner some night, and if that goes well, and and you have a nice.
You have a second dinner.
Yeah, you have a second dinner.
Wow,
That's
okay.
right.
So I think what you're talking about then is really for you a relationship. You need to develop some sort of rapport. So that might
Definitely.
take a period of time.
It does.
Yeah. So
It
if
does.
you're not in a large corporation, how would you suggest people do that?
Well, one of the things we do is we have this Wednesday
Oh, we do,
networking
yes.
event.
That's right. One of
where
many.
it's maybe 200 people every
Yes.
Wednesday, and there's a professional photographer, which I think kind of gets everybody together. They
Yes.
like to have their pictures taken, and you get to meet these people week after week, and
Yes.
you start to like certain people, and there's a nice conversation going, and there's a rapport going.
Yes.
Maybe you get together in some kind of clubs, or but mostly it's been work for me.
Yes.
It's been someone that you've worked with for a while, and maybe you travel with, and you get to really know this person.
Yes.
And
I
you
think-
start a nice relationship.
I think that's a very good point. I mean, in Las Vegas, a lot of the people that we know have their own businesses,
Right.
So they're sort of
That's right.
small to medium business,
Mhm.
or they're sort of divorced and now single.
Right. It's a lot of baggage out there.
There is, but what you were talking about, though, I think, which is a really good point, is that at some of these events that we go to,
Yes.
and don't worry, I go because I'm usually invited because of fashion.
Mhm.
So Bunker comes with me.
Right.
Okay. So, but I think it's a good point you made though about the photographer, because
Yeah.
the photographer gets you together.
Right.
So what he's, rather than having two people talking there and two people there and three, the photographer will say, well, come on, let's do a photograph, and sort of all get in, and so all of a sudden there's 10 or 12 of you.
Right.
And you do that 4 or 5 times in the night,
Right.
and you're laughing and jostling with each
Yeah.
other, and it actually breaks down a lot
And you
of the...
tag each other. Then all of a
Oh,
sudden,
yes, that's
everybody
true.
tags each other, and you say, "Oh, that's her name or his
Yes.
name." And then the next time you go, you know that person's name,
Yes.
and that kind of lights up in their eyes. You know, "Oh, you
Good
know my
point.
name."
Well,
And
I like that.
we move on. And I've gone to some networking events where they've had no photographer, and it's kind of boring. Nobody's networking.
Wow.
And people like to, and if you have a business, it's a great way to take a picture with
Yes.
20 people. And if I have 1,000 people on my Facebook page,
And you want to follow
you've
up.
hit 20,000 people if you
Oh.
take a picture with several
Wow.
people.
There you go. So, I suppose, should we tell them who we're talking about with this event?
Sure.
We should. We're
Yeah.
talking about Yvette Augier's Cosmopolitan Connections. And Yvette, she has great events.
Right.
And the great thing about them is that, to me, I explain to people, it's a bit like meeting friends
Right.
on a weekly basis, and you
Yeah.
don't even have to organise the party.
Yeah.
You just sort of think, oh, I've got a couple of hours to spare, or I've got half an hour to spare.
Yeah.
You can drop in, and you're bound to at least know one or two people there.
We have lots of friends.
We do,
We have
yeah,
lots of
which
friends.
is, and it's
Yeah.
there's no effort. So
It is. It's
thank
great.
you very much,
Thank you.
RJ. So what
Thank you.
RJ has enlightened us with is that he finds that it's best to develop a relationship over a period of time.
Right.
I mean, first of all, obviously, being a guy, right, he's physically attracted. That's right. But then
Yes.
to develop some sort of commonality, and that makes for a really good basis for a relationship. And in Las Vegas, if you know, if you don't have a large company, I suggest go to some of these networking events, and especially ones that have great photographers,
Yes.
because it does help to create a nice party atmosphere,
It is.
and everyone gets relaxed, and that's the best way to meet people.
Yeah, it's a
And
great event.
It is,
I met
it's
a lot of great people, made a lot
Yeah.
of good friends.
That's right.
Yeah.
We actually met through the National Speakers
Right,
Association.
you
though,
helped me
didn't we?
with my marketing. You saved my tail.
Oh my!
I was president then. You helped me get all my
Yeah.
marketing material together. We
I
got
was-
our
I was-
weekly meetings
I
out.
was sort
and
of the power behind the throne. He was on the
Yes,
throne, and I'm the guy,
yes.
like the duck. I'm pedaling
I
like
was
crazy in
struggling,
the water.
and you came in and took over and said, "Do this, do this, do that."
Oh dear,
You just
me?
took over.
Tell
Yes.
me what to do?
Oh,
Never.
yes. I said, "Okay."
Of course, he's a guy. Of course, he's there. Okay. Thank you very much, RJ.
Thank
You're
you.
wonderful to talk to. And thank you, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.